Manufactured Relationships by Carl Rogers. On Becoming a Person, a Therapist's View of Psychotherapy. Let me turn to research of a very different sort, some of which you may find rather abhorrent, but which nevertheless has a bearing upon the nature of a facilitating relationship. These studies have to do with what we might think of as manufactured relationships. Verplank, 17, Greenspoon, 8, and others have shown that operant conditioning of verbal behavior is possible in a relationship. Very briefly, if the experimenter says MHM, or good, or nods his head after certain types of words or statements, those classes of words tend to increase because of being reinforced. It has been shown that using such procedures one can bring about increases in such diverse verbal categories as plural nouns, hostile words, statements of opinion. The person is completely unaware that he is being influenced in any way by these reinforcers. The implication is that by such influenced in any way by these reinforcers, the implication is that by such selective reinforcement we could bring it about that the other person in the relationship would be using whatever kinds of words and making whatever kinds of statements we had decided to reinforce. Following still further the principles of operant conditioning as developed by Skinner and his group, Lindsley, 12, has shown that a chronic schizophrenic can be placed in a helping relationship with a machine. The machine, somewhat like a vending machine, can be set to reward a variety of types of behaviors. Initially, it simply rewards, with candy, a cigarette, or the display of a picture, the lever-pressing behavior of the patient. But it is possible to set it so that many pulls on the lever may supply a hungry kitten, visible in a separate enclosure, with a drop of milk. In this case, the satisfaction is an altruistic one. Plans are being developed to reward similar social or altruistic behavior directed toward another patient, placed in the next room. The only limit to the kinds of behavior which might be rewarded lies in the degree of mechanical ingenuity of the experimenter. Lindsley reports that in some patients there has been marked clinical improvement. Personally, I cannot help but be impressed by the description of one patient who had gone from a deteriorated chronic state to being given free grounds privileges, this change being quite clearly associated with his interaction with the machine. Then the experimenter decided to study experimental extinction, which, put in more personal terms, means that no matter how many thousands of times the lever was pressed, no reward of any kind was forthcoming. The patient gradually regressed, grew untidy, uncommunicative, and his grounds privilege had to be revoked. This, to me, pathetic incident would seem to indicate that even in a relationship to a machine, trustworthiness is important if the relationship is to be helpful. Still another interesting study of a manufactured relationship is being carried on by Harlow and his associates, 10, this time with monkeys. Infant monkeys, removed from their mothers almost immediately after birth, are, in one phase of the experiment, presented with two objects. One might be termed the hard mother, a sloping cylinder of wire netting with a nipple from which the baby may feed. The other is a soft mother, a similar cylinder made of foam rubber and terry cloth. Even when an infant gets all his food from the hard mother, he clearly and increasingly prefers the soft mother. Motion pictures show that he definitely relates to this object, playing with it, enjoying it, finding security in clinging to it when strange objects are near, and using that security as a home base for venturing into the frightening world. Of the many interesting and challenging implications of this study, one seems reasonably clear. It is that no amount of direct food reward can take the place of certain perceived qualities. Amount of direct food reward can take the place of certain perceived qualities which the infant appears to need and desire.